Todd Creager. I am here to talk about a topic that is dear to my heart, that is helping couples heal from infidelity. There are couples that definitely heal from infidelity. They are successful, and they develop better relationships than they had even before the discovery. Whenever I say this, I always say I'm not saying infidelity is a good thing. It's a terrible thing. It's a very hurtful thing. It's actually one of the most painful things for a person to feel betrayed by a partner who they've opened their heart to and they've committed to. At the same time, infidelity is not the problem. It's a problem, but it's not the problem. There's oftentimes underlying issues inside the person and also maybe between the couple that we need to look at. Now, again, I need to clarify. When I say there are some issues between the couple, there is only one person responsible for the infidelity, and that is the person who commits it. That person is 100% responsible. But we also oftentimes do need to look at both the inside that person and what's going on with them, as well as the couple within the couple. So, when should you work on this relationship? When should you not work on this relationship? And what does it take to rebuild trust? In this talk I'm giving to you right now, I want to cover those three questions and answers. So first of all, when is it worthwhile to work on the relationship? I have couples I can think of right now that I'm working with where it has been very worthwhile after infidelity. I have one couple where, and they're just one that comes to mind, where you could see that the husband, in this case, who was the one who committed the cheating, and he did it a variety of ways over a variety of years, over multiple years, that this was not like a little thing, that he was ready to self-reflect. He was ready to look at himself, tune in, see what's going on, and make some changes in his world. He was curious about himself. He was remorseful. So you have two very important ingredients for the person who betrayed that might be an indicator that it's worth working on the marriage after a discovery of infidelity. And one is that curiosity, and two is that remorse. The third is a strong intent to make changes. Now, this infidelity for this particular person was a way to feel good enough, a way to feel cool. He had some insecurities when it came to women as a young teenager and even as a young adult, and he was still trying to feel that feeling of being good enough, and he had a secret life. So what he was really willing to do is face his own self-esteem issues, his own insecurities, his own inadequacies, or at least feelings of being inadequate, and remedy that situation. The other thing that was really important, that's a really good sign, was empathy. Even though he would get defensive, because we're human, he would override that defensiveness more and more and be willing to empathize and allow the betrayed partner to, be able to express her pain in this case, her anger, her hurt, her ambivalence, mixed feelings. Should I be in this marriage or should I not? Being able to look at there's a part of her that loves him and wants to do anything for the relationship, and there's a part of her that wanted to destroy him and punish him. It's all human, and he was able to listen. So that's a big part of why a couple might want to work on the relationship. Those are some good signs. The person who was betrayed, the good sign there is she really loved him. She saw him, she didn't define him by that behavior. Even though she was so hurt by it, she realized that in that person was a good person with a good heart. That's another important ingredient that looks good and why a couple might want to work on it. When should you not work on it? This is when the betrayed person does not want to self-reflect, is not interested in looking at inside. They'll say things like, I'll never do it again. I've heard this so many times. I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again, combined with no self-reflection. I'll tell you what that means. He's going to cheat on you again, or she is going to cheat on you again. Saying I'm never going to cheat again without self-reflection, without seeking assistance from a person such as myself, that won't get that person anywhere, because it's easy to say when they're feeling threatened, the marriage is about to break up, or when they feel shamed or embarrassed that they were caught. The key is looking for that intention It doesn't take too long for me to see if a person is really, really ready to make changes, to be curious about themselves, and also to show remorse, and to develop the capacity to listen to their partner's pain. And when they can't, it's not even worth the trouble. I'll be honest with you, because relationships, patterns continue until they're confronted, until there's a better remedy. Like the man I just described, who had better remedies, healthier remedies, to feel good inside, and to be intent. His commitment was really clear. So when you don't feel that commitment from that partner, trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust your heart. That relationship may not be worth it. That relationship may not be full of good risk. There's always risk. You can't look for zero risk. But you need it to be good risk. And those are some of the signs that make it a good risk. And I've seen this couple and many others, many others, way more than, I'd say a large majority of the couples I work with, they end up having better relationships because they have developed more self-awareness and more communication tools. You have to be able to be willing to open up and go deeper into yourself and with your partner, which really is all about the next question, which is, how do you rebuild trust? Trust is rebuilt by spending time together on a consistent basis and sharing meaningful conversations, having meaningful conversations, communicating about feelings, communicating deeply. I have this one man I just saw earlier today who had cheated on his wife, and I was seeing him alone, and he was saying how he has been in another state working where this other person lives there. And he has not talked to her, and he lets his wife know. He even does selfies to show her where he is in the room. And he is one of these people, he's been self-reflective, curious about himself, empathizing with his wife, remorseful. And so this woman who had a hard time letting him go put a note on his windshield just a few days ago. And he took it, he read it. The person really apologized for wreaking havoc in his life, and then he just threw it away. So he called his wife, and he said to his wife, so-and-so, this other person, left a note on my windshield. And she said, oh, did you read the note? And he goes, yes, I did. She says, why did you read the note? You shouldn't have read the note. You should have just thrown it away. He goes, no, I read it. I was curious about what she said, and then I threw it away. Now, when I see her, I'm going to tell her that is a good sign. This is a person who told the truth, who was transparent. And I think it's only natural to read a note. Someone, he hasn't talked to this person in months and was curious what she had to say, and threw the note away and didn't act on anything. And to me, that's a good sign. When you have a partner who is sharing that, and he even said, look, did I have feelings for her? Yes. Am I totally over it? I'm not totally over it, but I'm moving in the direction. I am with you. My intent is to be with you. To me, that's a better risk. He's not giving her a lot of fluff. He's being real. He had a relationship with this person for a long time. It wasn't a one-night stand. Is he going to suddenly not have any feelings? I wouldn't trust that. So how you rebuild trust is by being honest, by having the tough conversations, recognizing the humanness in each other, but being clear that there is a commitment to this relationship, to the committed relationship, or to the marriage. Really very, very important. And to have open conversations, to share deeply. That's how you start to rebuild the trust. You start to talk about things that you instead in the past were kept secret. The feelings. When a person talks about the feelings that led to the action, that's a big trust builder. At that point, there's no need to check emails, texting, Facebook. You see a change in behavior. That's what we're looking for. That's what each partner, well, especially the betrayed partner, should be looking for. And you start to see different behavior. Like I said, there's communication, there's a sense of priority. In both of these cases with these two men, one where I've seen them mainly as a couple and the other individually, but eventually as a couple, that in both cases, the men have been showing up in different ways, and the women have been increasingly, though reluctantly, receptive. It's difficult to open up. And the man, in this case, or the woman, whoever the person was that cheated, has to give that other person time to lower their wall again. And at some point, with some consistency, if they're working with me, I'll ask the formerly betrayed person to take a chance again. But it's got to be done timely, and it's got to be done with sensitivity. So, yes, couples can survive and even thrive after infidelity. I see it all the time. I see it with these two couples. I've seen other cases just recently where I said, I don't see any decrease in risk. And, I don't usually say anything that the betrayed person doesn't already know. But it gets to be pretty obvious when you start to look for these signs. So, tune into your intuition, do the work, see if it's worth it. I'm here if you need me. This is Todd Creager, making the world safe for love.